Excuse me. Good afternoon, everyone. As we all know, we're in a climate crisis, according to the powers that be. I just call it summertime. That's what I call it. I call it summertime, y'all. How's everybody doing today? Y'all come on in. We're going to see what the president has to say a little bit later. It's not too far from his upcoming speech. Good afternoon. Josh Loftus, what's up, my friend? How are you? Are you new here? Let me check your channel out here, my friend. 26 subscribers. Thank you for coming in, my friend. Thank you. I'll subscribe to your channel. Let me watch your video. Well, good afternoon. Yeah, come on in and join the crowd. We'll be here for a little while. Get yourself some new subscribers, my friend. Come on in. It'll take people a couple minutes to come in. They get the notification. Today, President Biden is supposed to give us a speech over the climate. Good afternoon and thank you. I appreciate it. Hello, Roxanne. Good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. I agree. We're experiencing climate change. Do you agree? Well, you missed some live streams this week. It's summertime. Is summertime considered a climate change? For real. I'm serious. Summertime is not climate change. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. It was 110 here in Oklahoma yesterday. I'm fixing to show that off here in a little bit. That hobby, hello. I call it summertime. The powers that be call it a climate crisis. Really? As we all know, the UK and England and France, as I've been demonstrating this week and showing videos, fires are burning all over. England, France, the UK, Portugal, all over, along with the heat. Y'all come on in and get us a crowd. Share me out a little bit, please. Y'all know how to share me out. Please hit that thumbs up, y'all. A climate crisis, for real. 111 in Arizona. Is that a climate crisis? Or is that normal? Let's show this off a little bit. I just got started here on my live stream. I thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all come on in, y'all. Let's talk about this climate crisis we're having. I see these temperatures in Texas, 108, 105, 107, 109. This will give our government more control. There you go, Josh Loftus. You hit the damn nail on the head, brother. So the fires they have been catching also, we will be without food soon. Yeah, they're burning wheat fields in Ukraine. They're burning wheat fields all over England over there. Hello, Mark Rob. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for sharing me out. I'll share you out next time I catch you live, my buddy. Thank you, Mark Rob. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for sharing me out. It is hot, and it's summertime. That's what I call it. Are these temperatures above normal? Has these temperatures ever reached what they're showing now? Has it ever been 111 in Arizona before? Has it ever been 110 in Oklahoma? Has it ever been hot in the summertime? Thank you, Mark Rob. But yeah, the country is hot. It's sweltering. It's blasting, y'all. Are you still here, Josh Loftus? I'll go ahead and put you up. Yeah, you're here. Thank you. 120 back in 1998. Let me check something here. Before I proceed. Hello, Cha Cha Brady. Good to see you again. Thank you, Cha Cha Brady. It's been a while since you've been here, but I appreciate you coming back, my friend. Thank you, Cha Cha Brady. Cha Cha B. It won't be long here. We'll get to see the president. Extreme heat prompts alerts in 28 states as Texas and Oklahoma hit 115. 200 million people will experience temperatures in the 90s or higher for the next 3 days. Records are crashing as temperatures spike amid a high-end heat wave. Baking the Great Plains, temperatures have spiked to 115 degrees in Texas and Oklahoma. 128 in 1994. So why now are we going through a climate crisis? I can't remember the hottest it's been here in Oklahoma, but it's killer right now. That's what I'm comparing. Why now is there a climate crisis? Why today? Why this week? Why now? Josh Loftus just gave us that answer. Records are crashing as temperatures spike amid a high-end heat wave, baking the Great Plains. Temperatures have spiked to 115 in Texas and Oklahoma, with more than 60 million Americans anticipated to see triple-digit heat over the next week. Heat advisories and heat warnings affect more than 105 million people in 28 states, both across the central United States and the Northeast, where the combination of hot weather and high humidity will lead to conditions ripe for heat-related illness or heat stroke. Hello, West Texas Danielle. I bet it's pretty dang hot where you're at, right? Do you see it as a climate crisis? Or has it ever been that hot before? Does it get hot in the summertime? It's summertime, y'all. I live in South Carolina, and it's very hot in South Carolina. Simply Nanette. Hello, my friend. Thank you for the thumbs up. Anyone here want to share me out? Please share me out. Let's get the word out, y'all. They say it's a climate crisis. The powers that be. Hello, Dwayne Latica, my friend. How are you, Dwayne? Good to see you, and thank you. Excessive heat warnings and heat advisories are in effect this morning throughout 28 states, stretching from California to New Hampshire. High temperatures into the 90s and 100s will increase the risk of heat-related illness. The live stream keeps freezing. Well, shut it down and go back. Try it again, my friend. I'm not sure if it's freezing. I do have some storms here in South Carolina. Let me check it out. Anyone else? Is it freezing? Y'all let me know. Because if I'm aggravating you, I will shut my stream down. Is anyone else here experiencing freezing? Freezing up on your, are you buffering? It's working great for me, says that hobby. Thank you. The Weather Channel tweeted that more than 200 million people will experience highs exceeding 90 degrees for the next 3 days. Has anyone ever seen over above 90 degrees in the summertime? Well, hello, Susan Ann. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Y'all please hit that thumbs up. Super Dave just started his live stream a few minutes ago. And as you know, I've been predicting all week, and I've been predicting for the last couple months that they're going to come up with a climate emergency. But don't expect to hear that today. Yep, all my life over 100 degrees every summer. That's what I'm talking about. Why now is it a climate crisis? Dallas, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa could all approach 110 degrees. Well, what are they going to do to stop it if there's a climate crisis? You know the old saying, create a crisis and take advantage of it. Never let a good crisis go to waste. But thank you. Stay awake for me a little while, Susan Ann, and we'll see what the president has to say. And some locations have blown past the 110. For the first time on record, every one of the Oklahoma's network of 120 weather stations hit 103 degrees on Tuesday. Oklahoma City proper spiked 110 degrees for the first time in a decade. That marks only the 9th time since just after World War II that the Sooner State's capital has been so hot. So that's 9 times they've reached 110 degrees. This is nothing new. It's summertime. It also beats out a record that has stood since 1936. The top reading came from Mangum in southwest Oklahoma, which hit 115 degrees. That's pretty hot. But don't you think there are contributing factors? Contributing factors. like chemtrails and radar, contributing factors, y'all. It was comparably hot in North Texas, where Fort Worth Mecum International Airport climbed to 110 degrees. And Dallas got up to 109. Wichita Falls hit 115, a July record. I mean, if they think us not driving our cars could lower the temperature, what about that? Do you really think so? Another day of exceptional heat lies ahead with triple-digit highs forecast for all of North and Central Texas. Dallas is predicted to peak around 107 degrees Wednesday, and it should be in the lower 100s, essentially until further notice. Austin and San Antonio also are expecting similar temperatures. Yeah, that heat wave is headed towards South Carolina. But South Carolina has seen the temperature rise. I'd say if it got above 115 degrees in South Carolina, we got a problem. Because I've definitely seen it get to be 112 here. I've seen 110. I worked when it was 108. So the heat is nothing new. We're sort of in our third wave of well above temperatures this summer for South Central Texas, a meteorologist says in Austin. In an interview Wednesday, Austin could be looking at 106, 107 today. Just last week, there were 3 days in Austin at or above 106. I'm just questioning things, y'all. Does it get hot in the summertime? Well, of course it gets hot in the summertime. The city made it to a whopping 110 degrees on July 10 and hit 109 on the 11th and the 12th. That's the hottest 3-day stretch on record in the city. Bookkeeping dates back to 1897. Hello, Michael Stephen. We called a break here in Martorell, Spain. Only got to 90 today. Tomorrow near 95. However, as I've shown this week, a lot of Europe is on fire. In the UK and Spain, they're burning food. They're burning the wheat fields in the Ukraine. All these fires that are burning are definitely contributing to the heat because it gets into the stratosphere along with these chemtrails, and you got smoke, and it blankets and it traps in the heat. So there's part of our problem right there, y'all. Angela Marie, hello. Geoengineering is working. Thank you. Please hit that thumbs up, y'all. Anyone here hadn't shared me out? Please share me out. Drought and fire have both been issues across much of Texas and Oklahoma, where red flag warnings are in effect. Along and especially west of Interstate 35, humidity levels below 25%, coupled with winds gusting to 30 miles per hour, are brewing conditions ripe for the swift fire spread. Several fires cropped up across north central Texas on Monday, including some in Somervell County, southwest of Dallas. And as I said last few days, Dallas and surrounding counties have been very hot. Here's a wildfire, another wildfire sparked in Somervell County near Highway 67. Does people believe that heat makes fire? Does fires just spontaneously pop up because it gets hot? I mean, that's a good question. Or does it really take something to spark these fires? Is somebody setting these fires? Hello, Mike Smith. Traveling Fools, thank you for coming in, my friend. That's a fire in Texas, Mike. Not to mention over 50% of the thermometers used to measure temps are now coincidentally located at airports, which are asphalt in the hottest locations in the city. Hello, Angela Marie. How are you? You have 106 subscribers. Thank you for coming in. Let me check, see how long the president has before he gets on here, okay? I sure don't want him to come on and we miss him. Because the president is going to issue a climate crisis. Let me get this just right, y'all. This is what I wanted to see today. I don't know if everyone wanted to see it with me, but Super Dave's going to watch. So I'll go ahead and pause the music. Get on over here to the comments. President Biden is to speak any minute. It's not that I have any faith in our president. That's not what it's about. It's that I want to see what he says. He's going to deliver remarks on this climate crisis that we're having. Well, hello, Kim. How are you, my friend? Escape from Babylon. He isn't going to declare it. He's going to declare a crisis. He's going to use executive order. But he's not going to declare a climate emergency yet. Do you know the powers if he declares a climate emergency? As Josh Loftus said, is to take our powers away and give it to the government. And this will be delivered from Somerset, Massachusetts. We're waiting for the president. Emergency powers are not good, says Mike Smith. Hello, Alias. Is he going to announce he is giving himself some unconstitutional powers or something? He's going to announce a climate crisis. And we're waiting for the day we're getting that much closer. If y'all would have been watching me this week, I've been focused on the climate. I've been showing some things like yesterday, Reuters came out. It was an exclusive thing, that they came out saying the president would deliver and use executive orders for a climate crisis. Don't expect a climate emergency yet. But thank you for being here, aliens. Anyone here hadn't shared me out? Please, let's let the world see it, y'all. Because I have a couple things here in the end that I'm going to show you after this speech, if I don't forget. Everything stops right, Super Dave. Michael, Stephen, if there's a climate emergency declared, I think you're pretty accurate right there by what you just said. Everything stops. I don't have any faith in that, Josh. Please don't use curse words. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you just put MF. But really, I don't have any faith in this president either. But if he declares any emergency orders, executive orders, then he's going to want a lot of industry, companies, and people to start following along with this. Hello, Jonathan Consuelo. Hello. Thank you for coming in. Please hit that thumbs up, my friend. Anyone here hadn't shared me out, please. We're fixing to hear this president. Share me out, and I hope the whole world will hear him. 3.01 subscribers. Jonathan Consuelo. Thank you very much. And I trust when you have a channel that you're growing, that you know not to put anything foolish in my chat because you're risking your channel. And I'm not talking to just one person here. I'm talking to everybody. Because, if I go in other people's chat and I'm they can report me and whatever else if I put something, pretty bad in the chat. And that puts my channel at risk and it puts my character at risk. So I normally would never put anything negative in anybody's chat. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome, Jonathan. We used to have to wait like an hour for President Obama. Here we go, y'all.
Thank you. Thanks for your patience sitting out here. Appreciate it. Please have a seat. Have one. Hello, Massachusetts. It's an honor to be with you, outstanding members of Congress today. Senator Ed Markey. Ed, there you go. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Congress Delegate Buckley Claus, where is she? There you go today. Bill Keating, Congressman, and your great former member and one of my dearest friends, John Kerry, is doing a great job leading our international special presidential envoy on climate, traveling the world and talking a lot.
Can y'all hear this?
Massachusetts native, Gina McCarthy. And there she is. My National Climate Advisor is leading our climate efforts here at home. It's an honor to be joined by your neighbor from Rhode Island. He's not a bad guy at all. I live in his house, Sheldon Whitehouse, great champion in the environment. He's banging away at it. I come here today with a message. As president, I have a responsibility to act with urgency and resolve when our nation faces clear and present danger. And that's what climate change is about. It is literally not figuratively a clear and present danger. The health of our citizens and our communities is literally at stake. The UN's leading international climate scientists call the latest climate report nothing less than, quote, code red for humanity. They say it again, code red for humanity. Isn't that a couple of political officials like this? These are the scientists. We see it here in America, red states and blue states. Extreme weather events costing $145 billion. $145 billion in damages just last year. More powerful and destructive hurricanes and tornadoes have flown over the vast majority of the West and down in Louisiana, all across America. It's amazing to see. Ravaging 100-year-old droughts occurring every few years instead of every 100 years. Wildfires out west that have burned and destroyed more than 5 million acres. Everything in its path. That is more land than the entire state of New Jersey, from New York down to the tip of Delaware. It's amazing. 5 million acres. Our national security is at stake as well. Extreme weather is already damaging our military installations here in the States. And our economy is at risk. So we have to act. Extreme weather disrupts supply chains, causes delays and shortages for consumers and businesses. Climate change is literally an existential threat for our nation and the world. So my message today is this. Since Congress is not acting as it should, and these guys here are, but we're not getting many Republican votes, this is an emergency. And I will look at it that way. I said last week, and I'll say it again loud and clear. As president, I'll use my executive powers to combat climate crisis in the absence of congressional action, notwithstanding their incredible action. In the coming days, my administration will announce the executive actions we have developed to combat this emergency. We need to act. Just take a look around. Right now, 100 billion Americans are under heat alert. 100 billion Americans. 90 communities across America set records for high temperatures just this year, including here in New England as we speak. And by the way, records have been set in the Arctic and the Antarctic. Temperatures that are just unbelievable, only in the permafrost. It's astounding the damage is being done. This crisis impacts every aspect of everyday life. That's why today I'm making the largest investment ever, $2.3 billion to help communities across the country build infrastructure that's designed to withstand the full range of disasters we've been seeing up to today. Extreme heat, drought, flooding, hurricanes, tornadoes. Right now, there are millions of people suffering from extreme heat at home. So my team is also working with the state to deploy $385 million right now. For the first time, states will be able to use federal funds to pay for air conditioners at home, set up community cooling centers in schools where people can get through these extreme heat crises. And I mean people in crises that are 100 to 117 degrees. An infrastructure law that your members of Congress have delivered includes $3.1 billion to weatherize homes and make them more energy efficient, which will lower energy costs while keeping America cool in the summer and warm in the winter and not using too much energy. My Department of Labor, led by a guy named Marty Walsh, he talks funny, he's a hell of a guy. But all kidding aside, Marty was a great mayor, and I know he knows how to get a job done. And he's doing two things. First of all, the Secretary of Labor, he's developing the first ever workplace standards for extreme heat, saying under these conditions that hit this, you cannot do the following. You cannot ask people to do so. Second, he's sending folks out from the Labor Department to make sure we hold workplaces to those standards that are being set. They've already completed over 500 heat-related inspections of workplaces across 43 states. At the end of the day, it's going to save lives. Now, let me tell you why we're here at Brayton Point. 5 years ago, this towering power plant that once stood with cooling towers 500 feet high closed down. The coal plant at Brayton Point was the largest of its kind in New England. 1,500 megawatts of power, enough to power 1 in 5 Massachusetts homes and businesses. For over 50 years, this plant supported this region's economy through their electricity they supplied, the good jobs they provided, and the local taxes they paid. But the plant, like many others around the country, had another legacy, one of toxins, smog, greenhouse gas emissions, the kind of pollution that contributed to the climate emergency we now face today. Gina McCarthy, a former regulator in Massachusetts, was telling me on the way up how folks used to get a rag out and wipe the gunk off of their car's windshield in the morning just to be able to drive. Not very much unlike where I grew up in a place called Claymont, Delaware, which has more oil refineries than Houston, Texas had in the region just across the line, Pennsylvania. All the prevailing winds were our way. I just lived up the road. I just in an apartment complex when we moved to Delaware, and just up the road to a little school I went to, Holy Rosary Grade School. And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us being able to walk. Guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I am so dang with everything. I grew up having cancer, and why can't for the longest time Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation. But that's the past. We're gonna build a different future. One with clean energy, good paying jobs. Just 15 years ago, America generated more than half its electricity from coal-fired plants. Today, that's down to 20% because there's a big transition happening. Many of these fossil fuel plants are becoming sites for new clean energy construction. Others are switching to new clean technologies. Look at Brayton Point. Today, Brayton is on the frontier of clean energy in America. On this site, they'll manufacture 248 miles of high-tech, heavy-duty cables. Those specialized subsea cables are necessary to tie offshore wind farms to the existing grid. Manufacturing these cables will mean good paying jobs for 250 workers, as many workers as the old power plant had at its peak. And the port here, 34 feet deep, was used to carry coal into the power plant. Now we're going to use that same port to carry components of the wind power into the sea. The converter station here and the substation nearby are the assets that move energy across the power line. They'll now move clean electricity generated offshore by the wind. Enough power to power hundreds of thousands of homes onto the grid, putting all assets to work, delivering clean energy. This didn't happen by accident. It happened because we believed and invested in American innovation and ingenuity. One of the companies investing in the factory here joined me at the White House this month, Vineyard Wind. The CEO told me about the groundbreaking project labor agreements they've negotiated with great good paying union jobs. And I want to compliment Congressman Bill Keating for his work in this area. I'm also proud to point out that my administration approved the first commercial project for offshore wind in America, which is being constructed by Vineyard Winds. Folks, elsewhere in the country, we are fulfilling retrofits and ensuring that even where fossil fuel plants retire, they still have a role of powering the future. In Illinois, for example, the state has launched a broad effort to invest in converting old power plants to solar farms, led by Governor Pritzker. In California, the IBEW members have helped turn the former oil plant into the world's largest battery storage facility, the world's largest facility. In Wyoming, innovators have chosen the retiring plant as the next site for the next generation nuclear plant. My administration is a partner in that project. driving federal resources and funding the communities that have powered this country for generations. And that's why they need to be taken care of as well. I want to thank Cecil Roberts, a friend and president of United Mine Workers of America, and so many other labor leaders who work with on these initiatives. Since I took office, we've invested more than $4 billion in federal funding to 25 hardest hit coal communities in the country, from West Virginia to Kentucky, Wyoming to New Mexico. Through the infrastructure law, we're investing in clean hydrogen, nuclear, carbon capture, the largest grid investment in American history. We've secured $16 billion to clean up abandoned mines and wells, protecting thousands of communities from toxins and waste, particularly methane. And we're going to seal leaky methane pollution, an incredibly powered greenhouse gas that's 40 times more dangerous to the environment than carbon dioxide. Folks, with American leadership back on climate, I was able to bring more world leaders together, and we got 100 nations together to agree that the major conference in Glasgow, in Scotland, to change the emissions policy. We made real progress, but there's an enormous task ahead. We have to keep retaining and recruiting building trades and union electricians for jobs in wind, solar, hydrogen, and nuclear, creating even more and better jobs. We have to revitalize communities, especially those fence line communities that are smothered by the legacy of pollution. We have to outcompete China and in the world make these technologies here in the United States not have to be imported. Folks, when I think about climate change, I've been saying this for 3 years, I think jobs. Climate change, I think jobs. Almost 100 wind turbines going up off the coast of Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Ground broken, work underway. Jobs manufacturing, 2,500 ton steel foundation that anchor these offshore wind farms to the sea's floor. Jobs manufacturing a Jones Act vessel in Texas to service these offshore wind farms. We're going to make sure that the ocean is open for the clean energy of our future, and everything we can do to give a green light to wind power on the Atlantic coast where my predecessors' actions only created confusion. And today, we began the process to develop wind power in the Gulf of Mexico as well for the first time. A real opportunity to power millions of additional homes from wind. Let's clear the way. Let's clear the way for clean energy and connect these projects to the grid. I've directed my administration to clear every federal hurdle and streamline federal permitting that brings these clean energy projects online right now and right away. Some of you have already come up and talked to me about it. And while so many governors and mayors have been strong partners in this fight to tackle climate change, we need all governors and mayors. We need public utility commissioners and state agency heads. We need electric utilities and developers to stand up and be part of the solution. Don't be a roadblock. You all have a duty right now to our economy, to our competitiveness. That sounds like hyperbole, but it's not. It's real. Act boldly on it. So does Congress. It's not notwithstanding the leadership of the men and women who are here today, has failed in this duty. Not a single Republican in Congress stepped up to support my climate plan. Not one. So let me be clear. Climate change is an emergency. And in the coming weeks, I'm going to use the power I have as president to turn these words into formal, official government action through the appropriate proclamations, executive orders, and regulatory power that the president possesses. When it comes to fighting climate change, I will not take no for an answer. I will do everything in my power to clean our air and water, protect our people's health, win the clean energy future. Again, sounds like hyperbole. Our children and grandchildren are counting on us. Not a joke. Not a joke. If we don't keep it below 1.5 degrees centigrade, we lose it all. We don't get to turn it around. And the world is counting on us. This is the United States of America. We put our hearts and minds to it. There's not a single thing beyond our capacity. I mean, when we act together, and of all things we should be acting together, it's climate. It's climate. And by the way, my dear mother, God rest her soul, used to say, Joey, at everything bad, something good will come if you look hard enough. Look what's happening. We're going to be able to create as many or more good paying jobs. We're going to make environments where people live safer. We're going to make the air safer. I really mean it. We have an opportunity. I'll bet you when you see what's happened here in this cable construction manufacturing, you go back and ask all the people, well, what they'd rather have. They want the plant back, everything it had, or what you're going to have. I will be dumbfounded if you find anybody other than for pure sentimental reasons saying, I'd rather have coal plant. I'll end by telling you another quick story. When we moved from Scranton, when coal died in Scranton, everything died in Scranton. And my dad was a coal miner. My great-grandfather was a mining engineer. But my dad was in sales. There was no work. So we left to go down to Delaware, and I told you.
As you heard, Joe Biden just said he will use the power of the presidency. He's not explaining really in detail what he's going to do with his new executive orders on climate crisis. I guess he's saying like windmills and things that he's going to use, but that's for the green, the green climate. That's not really telling us what he's going to do. But he will be using executive orders on this climate crisis, and yet he has not declared a climate emergency. That's pretty much it with Joe Biden, y'all. He's not declaring a climate emergency yet. But I feel like it's coming in just a matter of time. If fires get set more across California, Texas, wherever, more fires and heat break out. We have the month of August to go. It's going to be hot in America. It's hot now. This is nothing unusual. So, yeah, I figure in a matter of time, this president will be signing an executive order for a climate emergency. And I've been saying that. And that's why I keep following this climate. He never said what he was going to do, right? Michigander, hello. The government was null and void. And they called the first lockdown. That's because he doesn't even know. Nancy Pelosi and them are cooking something up now. I'm sure of it. And this president doesn't even know. He'll just be signing executive orders and not even know what's in them. Yeah, like they say, you have to enact it to know what's in it. So don't worry about reading it, Y'all are awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Let me see this. I'm not going to leave this. I'm not going to do that. That's for sure. Yeah, I wanted to show something else before I leave. We've been live 50 minutes. And as you know, my live streams don't go on forever. I do around an hour long. That's right. Let me check something. I put a couple things to the side. Yes, I did. I just want to make sure. Let me see what this says. It may not be coming in. It is pretty cloudy here. Jim Davidson, thank you, my friend. Thank you. You're awesome, man. Thank you. Let me look through my stuff here. I know I put a couple things to the side to use for the string. Let's see, maybe not. Excuse me. I've been out in the heat today, y'all. I sure have been. I've been out in the heat. Um, I went to the zoo this morning. I took my grandkids. The heat, it don't bother me. But that's why I went ahead and got my thing over with, at the zoo before I'm in really, out in the heat. But yeah, they go by Celsius, y'all, over in these different countries. And as we know, Celsius around 40 degrees Celsius is about 105 degrees. It sure is. Thank you, Jim Davidson. Here's the chart. 33 degrees Celsius is not that bad in Ireland. 37 degrees Celsius in Wales. 39 degrees Celsius in France. Let me check this right here. 37 degrees Celsius is what in Fahrenheit? Usually it gives me a good answer. 98.6 degrees. So anytime you're going 37 degrees Celsius is 98 degrees to 42 degrees in France Celsius. That's above 105. So yeah, this is where they're experiencing a lot of this heat. You see this shaded red right here. Is this a crisis because fires are being set? You tell me. I mean, really, there was something else. That's not really what I wanted to see yet. I lose my way a little bit sometimes, y'all. Arden Blog, hello, thank you. Dave, shall I ask you where you're from? Where you belong? I belong right here. I sure do. Thank you for coming. I belong right here on my YouTube. I'm in South Carolina in the US of A. That's where I belong. That's where I'm at. Let me check one more thing before I take your time because I hate to go over an hour, y'all. You know how I am. I have to check my mail. I put some stuff aside and I just can't. And I done read that. I read that before. I'll read it again because I want everybody to know that what they're using. Everybody wasn't here when I started. So this is what they're using, along with what's going on in France, in the UK. That the temperatures are extremely high. It's summertime in America, and they're calling this a climate crisis. Thank you for coming in, Art and Blog. I appreciate it. I didn't mean to sound funny, but you're It says, Dave, shall I ask you from where you belong? I was just answering your question, my friend. Stay blessed. You are now blue. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. Watch Woman 76. If you want to know what's next, read Revelation. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jim Davison, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you, sir. Did I not show y'all? I think I'm a little bit behind. Why is this doing that? But it is hot. Y'all stay cool. Keep yourselves cool, y'all. We heard what the president said. I was anticipating his speech today and what his climate crisis executive orders were going to be. He didn't really tell us. So, yeah, they're going to be hiding stuff in these bills that they're coming up with because most people don't even know what's in the bills when they sign them. What did he say? $357 billion. He's giving billions of dollars to Ukraine. It's not even his money. I sure wish, finally, is this the answer that it takes to get money from the government under this make believe climate crisis? There is no climate hoax. I wanted to play y'all something from Rush Limbaugh. That's what I had set aside somewhere. It sure is. And I have to find it. I used to listen to Rush Limbaugh passionately. Um, Passionately. I loved Rush Limbaugh. I did. Rush Limbaugh, I don't think was ever part of them. He wanted to be friends, with Donald Trump and all that. But Rush Limbaugh I don't think was ever part of them. I don't really believe he was. For some reason, my emails don't all go through. Because I know when I send something, my emails, that's not what I clicked on. My dang computer has a mind of its own, y'all.
Rush Limbaugh went on a totally unhinged rant about climate change, where he calls people who believe in it dumb and useless, and even compares us to Hitler. The evidence every day, folks. I'm telling you, it is one of the most amazing sights to behold. There isn't any. There hasn't been any global warming, not man-made. There isn't any of any kind. The number one agent causing it has increased in volume exponentially, CO2, and there hasn't been any warming. And yet they're still pushing it. There's no other way. We've got to believe that this is all politics. It can only be politics keeping us alive. And it is a politics that intentionally insults the intelligence of people and preys on the stupid and the dumb and the weak. Intentionally, in order to gain popular support. And by that I mean they focus on people who have, in their own estimation, meaningless lives. They're wondering what their purpose is. Why am I here? Why am I driving this motor car? Why can't I go to the why am I? And then all of a sudden, those people here, they can save the planet. Now that big.
you're doing it. So you go buy a Prius and you go support all this madcap crazy stuff and you become an evangel and you are saving the planet. Do like that. That's what I think we're praying on the week. Dumb, stupid. How many times have you heard anybody on TV is being interviewed for some achievement, some accomplishment, for some reason, and the person, usually a Hollywood actress, but it could be anybody. I want to make a difference. How many times have you heard that? That's what they pray on. You want to make a difference? Fine, you can save the planet. Now you've helped destroy it. We know you didn't need to. You unwittingly, by driving the car you drove or eating McDonald's or eating whatever you were destroying them. You must vote Democrat, support big government, welfare state, and cut back on progress. And if you do all that, we'll love you, we'll take care of you. Just vote for us, and you can save the planet. And that's how they pray on them. And they can make a difference. Hitler made a difference. Stop it. What?
That's exactly right. Anyone can question Rush Limbaugh and his motives. God rest his soul. Rush Limbaugh was solid, and he was right.
Out there and carries water for them.
Rush Limbaugh was solid, and he was right. Climate emergency, climate crisis is a hoax. Every time this government is coming up with doo-doo with their bills, say their viruses, every time they coming up with something. It's war, y'all. You don't know that? Donald Trump told us. It's war. Everything coming out of this government, especially climate change, a climate crisis, especially that. It's a HOAX. And I just feel like in a matter of time, this president's going to be coming up with a climate emergency because he wants more powers, and he wants, that's why he hasn't done it yet. Figure it out. I'm not going to give you the answer. You, the audience here, y'all are pretty dang smart. Why hasn't he done a climate emergency today? There's enough evidence out there. The temperatures are hot. Fires are burning everywhere. Okay, if you want evidence and have enough evidence to drive your climate emergency, you already have enough evidence if you wanted to use it. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you all for coming in. Jim Davidson, thank you, sir. I'll keep doing my research. Y'all keep hitting that thumbs up for me, please. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate this community. I love and appreciate y'all. I do. I love y'all with all my heart. Y'all come here. Y'all are awesome. Y'all support me. I support a lot of channels. I share people out. That's the only way as a community we're going to grow, y'all. You have to share each other out. You don't have to share me out. I do ask you to do so, and I really thank you. Mark Rob, thank you. I will share you out, my friend. But everything the government proposes, I done showed y'all where this virus is going to last till 2025. There are some things I've been wrong about. I'm not right 100% because I don't have a globe. I'm not a gypsy. I don't see the future, y'all. I don't claim to be. I just watch step by step that they're taking. And I figure that it's going to lead into the next whatever. See, that's what this climate crisis thing is about. It's going to lead to the climate emergency. Mark my words, y'all. Mark my words. Well, thank you, Jim Davidson. I appreciate it. Anyone don't have Jim Davidson, y'all go ahead and hit his blue name right there, and it'll take you to his channel. I appreciate it, Jim Davidson. I really do. Thank you for that super chat. Here, let me run your link. It's awesome, my friend. Jim Davidson. If I could get everybody here to grow. I'm not perfect, but I can't hardly keep people in the chat when I'm trying to grow channels. So I get out here and I start talking about the climate and people who are coming in my chat. I have to keep talking about the climate because people keep coming in my chat. If y'all don't have Jim Davidson, please hit that link, y'all. That's my broadcast for today. To sum it up with, and you're going to hear it again, because I just said it a while ago. Joe Biden, our president, is going to sign some executive orders that we don't even know what's in the bills yet. How about that? We pretty much know if he issues a climate emergency that everything stops. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I am so overwhelmed with the great support. I love and appreciate this community. Thank you. I forgot something, Jim Davidson. Are you still here? You ready? Let's get to it, y'all. I got to find it. Did they move it? Let me see. I didn't move it. Them grandkids of mine, y'all. Thank you, everyone.